I want to talk about something that's been eating away at me the closer we get to the launch of Gears of War Reloaded. And it's not just the shotgun inconsistencies or the slow movement complaints. We'll get to that stuff another day. What I'm talking about is the lack of PvE, and how that one decision, or lack of a decision, could kill Reloaded before it even gets a chance to stand on its own. Because while the Coalition is focusing hard on recapturing Gears 1 nostalgia, Helldivers 2 is quietly, or not so quietly, positioning itself as the true spiritual successor to everything Gears PvE fans ever wanted. And now, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox, and that's a big problem, especially if Reloaded shows up with old style PvP. Let me explain. If you've been with Gears since the beginning, you know this franchise wasn't built on just sweaty multiplayer matches. Sure, Gears 1 helped define the cover shooter, but the thing that made this series last was PvE. The campaign, the co-op, the horde, the teamwork. PvE has always been the emotional and mechanical core of Gears. It's where we bonded with friends. It's where we learned the controls, the pacing, the rhythm of the world. And Gears 2 and Gears 3 especially, they perfected that rhythm. They gave us Horde 2.0. They gave us Beast Mode. They gave us survival gameplay with tension, variety, and rewards. It wasn't just about killing enemies. It was about fighting against impossible odds, and slowly, together, beating them. So when we talk about PvE helping Gears Reloaded, we're not just asking for an extra mode. We're asking for a lifeline. A reason to stay invested. A place for new players to find their footing. And for veterans to feel like they're still part of something bigger than a sweaty 4v4 match. PvE is how you build a community. You want casual players to care? Give them Horde. You want content creators to have something to grind? Give them leaderboards. You want YouTubers to drop 30-minute breakdowns of strategy and class builds? Give them PvE. Because the thing that makes PvE special, especially in Gears, is that it's approachable, scalable, and infinitely replayable. Your friend who's never touched Gears multiplayer, they might never touch escalation or execution. But you drop them in a horde match with you, show them how to fortify a base, drop a sentry, revive each other, and clutch a wave at the last second, they're hooked. PvE turns observers into players. It turns casuals into invested fans. And those fans don't just quit after a week. They stay, they grind, they care about the series. That's the difference between Helldivers 2 and Reloaded. And that's what Reloaded is dangerously close to forgetting. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Helldivers 2. That game is everything PvE fans have been begging for. Co-op? Check. Crossplay? Check. Constant updates? Check. But most importantly, it treats PvE like the main event. It doesn't sideline it as a bonus mode. It builds its entire experience around community-driven PvE. The devs actually listen to the community. They add new enemy types, new strategies, limited time missions, new threats, and they tie it all to a global war effort. That gives players a reason to come back every single week. And now that it's coming to Xbox, you better believe it's going to dominate the space Gears of War Reloaded could have owned. Helldivers 2 is going to eat Gears' lunch, and Gears Reloaded hasn't even opened its mouth. Now imagine this. Gears Reloaded launches, and there's no Horde, no Beast Mode, no PvE at all. Just ranked matches and classic maps. That sounds good for a very specific audience. The people who have been around since 2006 and want that raw, no-frills experience. But here's the hard truth. That audience is not enough to sustain a live service game in 2025. I'm sorry. Players today expect progression. They expect social co-op. They want to feel like they're part of a living game world. If you don't have that, you're done. And the second players get bored of multiplayer or run into laggy lobbies, unbalanced weapons, or a Nasher frustrations, they're gone. And they're going straight to Helldivers. A PvP-only Gears Reloaded is a really risky bet. A PvE-inclusive Gears Reloaded, that's a complete package. Something for everyone. Something that gives people a reason to stay. something that actually grows the player base and keeps it alive until E-Day arrives. Let me be blunt for just a second. Gears Reloaded is not just a remaster. It's a test. It's the last checkpoint before Gears of War E-Day. And if Reloaded underperforms, wow. If the player count drops too fast, or the reception is lukewarm, it's going to hurt everything that comes next. Microsoft will look at the data, the Coalition will look at the retention, and they'll scale back. We already know E-Day is taking Gears back to its roots, but if Reloaded doesn't show that PvE has value, if it doesn't include it and doesn't deliver, then there's a real risk that E-Day drops with no Horde, no Overrun, no PvE support at launch. Just think about that for a moment. And that would be devastating. Not just to PvE fans, but to the soul of what makes Gears, Gears. PvE doesn't just help Gears Reloaded, it saves it. It gives content creators something to showcase. It gives casual players a space to learn. It gives veterans a reason to return. It provides progression, unlocks, upgrades, and teamwork in ways that PvP alone never can. And most importantly, it brings people together. That's what Gears of War always did at its best. That's what Horde was. That's what Beast Mode tried to be. And that's what Helldivers 2 understood immediately. Reloaded still has a chance to do this, but the window is closing. And once Helldivers hits Xbox, that PvE audience might already be gone. So I'll say it one more time. PvE isn't optional. Not in 2025. Not when Helldivers 2 exists and is releasing the same day. Not when people are starving for co-op survival modes with progression and depth. Gears of War Reloaded needs Horde. It needs Overrun. It needs Beast Mode or some kind of evolved PvE experience. Because if it doesn't offer that, then what are PvE players even supposed to do? They'll just boot up Helldivers and never look back. And if that happens, it's not just Reloaded that suffers. It's the future of Gears. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Should Gears of War Reloaded bring back Horde or Beast Mode, or is it already too late? And if you love Gears and want to see the series keep going strong, drop a like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel even further, memberships are just 99 cents. Seriously, every little bit helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay strong, stay sharp, and don't get friendly fired by the Helldiver squad. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.